What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Venom issue number 17, coming out of the pages of Dark Web. Exploited by both Meridius and Madeline Pryor, Eddie's actions have turned Dylan against him. This has left Eddie little more than a shadow of a husk of his former self, stripped away of all that he ever was. It appears that Eddie may be trapped in a maze of his own making forever. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we have Eddie Brock who is falling into Limbo, from Limbo's highest point, a mocking reflection of the Earth that he had left, because Eddie was sent back here for the final battle between the so-called allies. They used him, then they dumped him, and now he falls. A man that has been falling his entire life. Now more than ever, it looks like Eddie needs a hand. But every time he has reached out to somebody, he has not found any allies. Not any friends, nobody. Not even his own son any longer really wants much to do with him. In fact, we saw Dylan trying to end it all. Or at least that is what is perceived to be going on. But falling and landing on this ground, we see Bedlam, all of Eddie's rage made flesh. When he lands wherever it is he lands, we see that he is not here alone. He finds himself facing off against Techno demons. Once upon a time, these things were all over Limbo, but that was quite a while ago. Nowadays, they hide away, but they are still very much there, as they go in and try to eat Bedlam. Getting ready to chop him to pieces, we see Bedlam just wreck one of these techno-organics. But when he grabs hold of one of them, we see it transmit the transmode virus. Just a simple touch and this stuff takes over. A techno demon is kind of like a reverse vampire. They turn you into one of them before they suck out all of your juice. Once the process has been started, it pretty much cannot be stopped. And this works on symbiotes. The thing is, Eddie Brock isn't just any symbiote. He is the king of the symbiotes. He is the king in black. And even if he doesn't know just how powerful he truly is yet, we see him break off the techno-organic virus. The other techno demons, they see this and they try to go running, as Bedlam grabs one of them and he bites their freaking head off. This is where we have the current ruler of Limbo. Remember, time works differently for Eddie because of everything that he has been going through. You could say that he is falling through time. We have seen him jump all over the time stream. And so when he sees the ruler of Limbo, this isn't Madeline Pryor. This isn't magic. This is Darkoth, the Death Demon. While Madeline Pryor may be the current ruler of Limbo, for a second there, the Death Demon was in charge. Nobody quite remembers how it ended, but inside the pages of Venom, we might actually get to see how it all went down. With it going on to say that time is treacherous here. That if you put enough weight on the moment, that moment can split. And so we follow the next couple of pages, and we are seeing this moment split into two different scenarios. Two different possibilities. One possibility, we see the soul sword being brought down on Bedlam, slicing him open. In another scenario, we see that Bedlam is able to take the soul sword straight out of his hands and he breaks it in half. These two moments going side by side. One scenario, Bedlam is just getting wrecked. In the other, we see that Bedlam is laying down the hate. As we watch these scenarios unfold, we see that only one moment comes forward, as the ruler of Limbo takes that soul sword and begins to drive it into Bedlam's chest. This was the predestined outcome. But in Limbo, there is no such thing as a predestined outcome. In Limbo, no victory is assured. Some say because nobody wins, as the Soul Sword drives into Bedlam's symbiote heart, blasting his ego to ash and banishing him from this plane. The symbiote matter, it reacts aggressively. It explodes in pain and rage, and it seeks out the only host that it can. Maddened, possessed by the new symbiotes, Darkoth has nowhere to run. And so when a random stepping disc opens up, one that goes to Asgard, he flees through it without a single thought. And that is what takes him to Thor issue number 27. And his reign of Limbo has now come to an end. But Eddie Brock, now banished from Limbo, brought to the next place. A voice telling him that he walks the path of a magician, as he slowly begins to remember his name, to remember who he is. He knows how much has been taken from him for him to get to this point. The voice telling him that the magician's journey is the sacrifice of ego. Magic comes in many forms, but magicians adhere to two dominant philosophies: what you would call white magic and what you would call black magic. The white magic, that which remakes the world from a place above, leaving hands as clean as a surgeon's. And what they call black magic, that which works in the world for the world and knows the world's suffering, leaves hands black with blood and heavy with venom. Eddie needs a hand, and here he is. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now that last image there, that hand that was floating with what appeared to be sparks or fire coming out of the fingertips, that hand appears to belong to Venom. But this is very cryptic. It doesn't truly let us know who is behind this, who is responsible. This is all kind of more of a dreamscape. He is making his way through time, he is just bouncing all over the place, and Eddie has just been brought through the ringer. The question is, where is all of this leading? So far, what we have seen is that Meridius is the inevitable end of what Eddie Brock will be, or at least that is what we have been led to believe. With the Garden of Time and all of this going on, we have yet to truly be pointed in the direction of how this ends, or where the end might even be. Now, I do wonder if this is all trial and tribulation to make Eddie Brock the King in Black that he should be. When this all started, he was really doing the King in Black thing, but not to its 100% effectiveness. He truly didn't understand the extent of his power or his abilities. His abilities to jump through time like it is absolutely nothing. To find any symbiote at any point in time, from the beginning of time to the very end of time. From the prehistoric era to Kang the Conqueror. And while Meridius has very much seemed to be like the bad guy in all of this, is there a possibility that Meridius is simply showing him the path? Walking him down the lane where he will inevitably become the most powerful King in Black to ever exist. There are so many questions that are left on the table, given so little answers. Every issue is cryptic. Every issue gives you a small inclination of information, just a tiny dab, but it floods you with so many more questions. That's one of the things that keeps me coming back to this Venom comic. 17 issues in, and I have yet to truly be disappointed outside of the things with Dark Web. I felt like Eddie Brock wasn't really necessary for the Dark Web, even the whole event, I should say. And Ron V has arguably been some of the best writing to come out of this. Now, don't get me wrong, Ewing does some pretty good writing, but his is more silly jokes, almost on the verge of corny, where Ron V, on the other hand, he has a darker, more deeper connection. His writing really is almost poetic, and I don't know if the two really balance each other off. But regardless, I'm excited to see where this is going to land, how Codex is going to have his part in all of this, and what this means for the future of the King in Black. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Venom. Be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that has been happening with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.